So let us see, your lab code is JEE1312, Electronic Devices and Circuits Lab. So objective is to learn simulation of analog circuits, enable the student to understand the behavior of semiconductor device based on experiment. So that is what I have given as an introduction to you. Semiconductor is, he will behave like a conductor as well as like an insulator. So depending upon the control action, he will move from insulator to conductor and vice versa. So this behavior, the behavior of this is we are going to see in this lab. So we will see various type of semiconductors. So first one, we all know semiconductor is diode. Then there is a small difference between a diode and Zener diode, we will see. Then comes your transistors. Then we will see about JFET, and then we will move on to UJT. All these are semiconductor devices. Okay, then this NPN transistor can be operated in common emitter, common base and common collector configurations. Among this configuration, common emitter is used for switching. So when you say it is used for switching, then the time interval at which you turn on and the time interval that device gets turned on is called as frequency response. Okay, so we will see how fast it is able to switch on and off. So that is called frequency response. Then there are special type of semiconductors like photodiode, phototransistor, which is nothing but turned on with the help of photon. Photo means light. So with the light source, how we are going to turn on and turn off. Okay, so that we will see with photodiode and phototransistor, their characteristics we will see. Then comes your oscillators. Oscillators are nothing but repeated generation of a pulse, that we call it as oscillate. A well-known oscillate is known as your pendulum. So in your wall clock, I think nowadays we doesn't have even clock itself, or even we doesn't have watch. Now even we doesn't wear watch at our wrist itself. So wristwatch itself is not there because everything is brought inside your mobile phone. But we had a watch called wall clock with a pendulum, so that we will try to oscillate. So in other words, oscillators are nothing but they have to repeatedly generate waveform without any time gap. So we will see RC, then we will see LC, then we move on to some applications like rectifiers. Rectifiers are nothing but convert your AC from EB to DC. Okay, so that you have half wave and full wave. Then study of CRO. What is meant by CRO is cathode ray oscilloscope, which is usually used in lab to see the waveforms. So these are the, all this is about all 11 experiments will constitute your electron devices and circuits laboratory. And in our Google Classroom Meet, in chat box, you can see I have given a link I have been posted. So go to that link. When you see that link, when you just click on that link, a virtual laboratory is being established by MHRD. So MHRD with your IITs, various IITs, they have done this. MHRD is Ministry of Human Resource Development. So they have taken initiatives. So in that, just when you click this link itself, you will get this. So this is basic electronics virtual laboratory. So they have given some introduction, then they have given some list of experiment. There some experiments will get, we will see here, and rest we will do it separate way. So first one is VI characteristics of diode. Then VI characteristics of Zener diode is similar. I will tell you how to do, that is what is given in. So first we will see experiment number 5, then we will go with experiment number 9. Then this half wave and full wave rectifier is there for us. Then this BJT in common emitter base and common collector characteristics is there for our syllabus. Then study of BJT as a CE amplifier is there. Then frequency response, what is there in our syllabus, it was there. So only this experiment we will go through with this particular virtual lab. So this is a virtual lab. Okay, so virtual lab. So let us start today with some introduction. And in your Google Classroom, when you see in your Google Classroom, I have posted an manual, lab manual, that is for your reference, so you can have it, so that you can go and see in your assignment. There will be EDC lab manual, so kindly go through that manual also. So in that manual you can see all the experiments, but through this virtual there are some little experiments that can be done. So that is nothing but, I will repeat, it is VI characteristics of diode, experiment number 5. Then we will go to experiment number 9. Then we will go with experiment number 10, 11. Okay, then we will go with experiment number 13. After completing this 13, I will come back with experiment number 7 and experiment number 6 and experiment number 7. So till this we will go with this virtual laboratory. Then we will continue with some other way. I will explain you with some other simulation software. So now let us start with the first one, which is nothing but VI characteristics of a diode. So there are some objective. So objectives are, you can see, explain the structure of PN diode, then you are explain forward and reverse characteristics. There are two type of semiconductors available. One is silica, another one is germanium. Okay, so now let us see the symbol, structure and symbol. So two type of semiconductors are brought together. One is called as P type, another one is called N type. P type is additional number of electrons are available, whereas in P type you have more number of places are empty for the external material to come and get contact. Okay, you are not supposed to say holes and all, because there is nothing flow of holes, only flow of electrons is there. So in N type what they have done is, they have taken a semiconductor and they have used something as called as impurity. They will add that, they are trying to make a structure, that in that structure there are excess of electrons. So this electron is going to constitute your flow of electrons. And in P type, same way, they have added some impurities, and there are some free bonding space is available. See, when you have 5 fingers in hand, and if you are giving only 4 fingers to join, then 1 finger will be left free. This can form a bond. Okay, that is case of P type. Whereas in N type, to 5 hand finger, I am going to give 6 hand or 7 fingers, which means 2 fingers are free, which means 2 electrons are free. So that is called N type. So now bring this N and P close. So you form anode and cathode. Okay, now there will be a line indicating in your diode on yellow, white color or silver color line, which is indicating this line. Now why they have put an arrow like this is, here in diode what is happening is, electron is allowed to flow only in one direction and reverse direction is not allowed. So when this, from this side electron can flow and it can reaches this cathode, and reverse is not possible. Reverse means when electron from this side it cannot go, that is being put a gate. So this is like a gate. So this is how they draw the symbol. So one arrow is going to indicate the direction of electron, and this line is going to indicate that it is not allowed from this side. So it is been blocked. From cathode, flow of electron is not possible, only from electron is possible. So this is based on this, you will go for forward bias and reverse bias. So when you say forward bias, you have to connect positive to positive and negative to negative. So electrons from positive, from higher potential to lower potential, your electron will flow. Even though you call it as positive, electron is going to flow. So from positive terminal of your battery or supply, electrons will start flow and reaches your cathode. Okay, that is forward bias. In reverse bias, what you will do, connect negative to anode and positive to cathode. But now what happens, even though you connect positive to cathode, electron from there cannot flow because this gate will obstruct. So there is no flow of electron. So diode is set to allow current to flow in single direction. Other direction is being blocked. That is called as forward bias and reverse bias. Even the materials are available, you can even go through. So they show about your forward bias and reverse bias. Okay, so next to this is your, let us start with the simulation. So kindly go with me so that you can able to understand. Even that what I told, I will give you this video. so you can go through the video also. So now what we have to do is just click on this forward bias silicon diode. So here you can see what I have done is we have taken a diode. So I have told positive you have to connect it to this side and negative you have to connect to this side. So from positive your electron will start flowing and this electron will flow through this particular diode. Now we want to measure what is current flowing and what is voltage across the diode, okay, to draw the graph. So they have connected an ammeter here and they have connected a voltmeter here. So when you start increasing your voltage, when there is increase in voltage, the electron starts to flow. And one thing is there, when you go for a semiconductor, you are bringing, I think all this you might have studied even in your theory, but I will just brush up so that it will be helpful. So when you take a diode, so diode has forward bias and reverse bias, then a diode has a barrier between P and N. When a P-type material is brought near N-type material and when you try to make it as a single person, what happens is there is something called diffusion current and a drift current. Drift is if you are not coming to class and if you are forcing, then it is called drift. And when we say it is 11 o'clock you have class, without any further notification, if you are automatically coming and joining the class, then is called diffusion. So there is a difference between diffusion and drift. So diffusion with the semiconductor is once the two type of material is brought close together, automatically the electrons which are free in N-type jump to P-type, from N-type it jumps to P-type and they try to form a compound, and this barrier has to be broken when they are coming into turn on. So normally when you buy a diode, they might have joined an N-type and P-type semiconductor inside the diode, and once they combine this N-type and P-type, the electron which is available at the boundary of your N-type, not the entire electron cannot jump, so only electron on the boundary of N will try to cross to P, and this P, initially the P has some holes. Now if this electrons from here jumps to P, there will be some holes created, so that we call it as a barrier. On P-type you will have electrons, on N-type you will have holes. That is only they will usually encircle and they will draw. I think you might have seen when you draw a P-N junction, then there at the junction region, that is at the junction of P and N, on P side they will draw electrons like putting a minus sign and they will encircle, because when you put encircle, it is indicating it is the minority charge carriers. So for P, what is the majority? Holes are majority. For N, what is the majority? Electrons are majority. But when two structures are brought together, on the surface there is a jump is happening, and this jump is minority charge carriers. On N-type, when holes are created, they are minority, that is why they will put it inside a circle. So plus mark they will put and they will put a circle on N side. Similarly they will put negative and put a circle on P side. Okay, so now what happened is on N you have some P and on P you have some N. So initially you have to give some voltage to break this, then only your conduction will start. So simply see here, from here what I have told, I am giving electrons. So that electrons, if they come here, already there are some holes in junction, that holes has to be filled, then only this electron can flow, and this we call it as forward voltage drop. Forward voltage drop. So when you go for silica, so for example all these are commercial diodes available in market. So it is 1N4001. So its forward voltage drop is 0.6, which means till 0.6 you will not have any conduction. Why you are not having conduction? Because P and N type are brought together. So once they are brought together and they have formed a device, there will be a drift current. There will be a diffusion current. Diffusion current you can even understand better when you pour a ink on a water tumbler. See, just when you want to understand your diffusion current. So when you want to understand your diffusion current, so you can see here, when a p-type material and n-type material is brought diffused together, they are separate. To manufacture diode, we are diffusing it. So once if you diffuse it, what happens is, this is p-type, so majority should be holes, but some electrons from here they jump. See, you have to talk only with respect to electron. So first you have to tell electron is crossing here. Since electron has crossed here, this area may become empty. Okay, now I am not giving any external supply. That is what you have to observe. See, I have not forced anything. So when I not forcing anything, then only I will call it as diffusion current. If I give any force, then it becomes a drift current. Okay, diffusion current example with water and ink. So I think that image is not there. Just we take see this how, this is what example for diffusion. See, if I put an ink on a top, I am not stirring or doing anything, just I am pouring the ink. Now what you can visualize this, ink on a water cannot fully get dissolved unless otherwise I stir. Stirrer means putting a spoon and doing it. You are not supposed to put a spoon and all, just you give an ink. What will happen? This will go and deposit here on the boundary. Same what we say here. See, the entire electrons from your p-type and all will not cross. Okay, only the electron on the boundary will cross. This only will happen. You are not supposed to think, sir, here you have more electrons, all that will not cross. All, if you want to make every person to cross, then you are supposed to go for drift current, not diffusion current. Okay, only in drift, only if you say drift current, I am going to give external supply. See, this supply itself I have not shown when I am going to, when I was explaining diffusion. When I was explaining diffusion, this was not there. When I am going to explain drift, drift is nothing but I am giving some force. So if I give only some force, then this will try to happen. Okay, so conventionally we say higher potential, but what happens is only flow of electrons. So that is what is happening in your diode. Okay, only that is being explained. So now let us start our experiment. What we have to do is forward characteristics. So for forward characteristics, you fix your resistance to some value. So when you increase the resistance, obviously what will happen? Current flow will reduce. So resistance is always your load resistance. So you can keep at any particular value, say around 200 ohms. From 200 ohms they have given you till 1 or 2k. This is 2k, this is 100 minimum. You cannot keep resistance as a 0, that is not at all possible, which means you are shorting. Short is nothing but, or from a single plug point, if you connect it to a wire to phase to neutral, that is called as short. Then only you will have 0 resistance, and if there is any short, then automatically fuse will go. Okay, so some minimum resistance of 100 ohms I have kept it. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to vary the DC voltage. Okay, so initially DC voltage is kept 0. So when DC voltage is kept 0, we see that ammeter is also plotting 0 and your voltage is also at 0. So now what we can do is slightly increase. So even I have increased to 0.3 volts, nothing is showing in my current. Just add this to our tabular column. So I am adding the value in my tabular column, that putting as 0. Now slightly you go on increase. So I am varying my, so you can add this also, and since it is not showing with respect to very small values, so you can even slightly increase. Okay, so when I cross 0.6, automatically what happens, you can see here. Now once I have crossed value, then there is something drop across my diode, so remaining is there here, which is 0.5. Now current has mildly started, so press this button, add to table, again you will get it here. Okay, now slightly go on increase. See, when you want forward characteristics, so positive is connected here, negative is connected here. I am increasing the voltage. For increasing in voltage, what is my current flowing and what is voltage across the device. See, voltage across the device will not vary once the device is turned on, that you have to understand. So forward characteristics, what I am doing, I am increase my voltage. So when I am increase my voltage, current flow will increase, but voltage across the device will be more or less will be same value. So now you can see here, I will further increase my voltage. So I have brought to 0.9 and now current is 1 milliamps. You can see thereafter there won't be further, won't be any greater increase in my voltage. So I am going on increasing. Okay, so next value, then I am slightly increasing. So you can see here, but there is only small change in voltage. Voltage cannot change across the device, I am saying, not my supply voltage. Supply voltage is flowing here. So always your input power is nothing but multiplication of voltage and current. So V into I is power in case of DC. So further I am increasing. So this is I am just doing just to plot the graph. See, we have to plot the graph for our experiment. So gradually increase your input side voltage. So you can visualize. See, it has started with output current as 0, then till it crosses around 0.5. Beyond that it has started, and this is very small current, 0.5 milliamps. Okay, don't think it as amps, it is 0.5 milliamps. In other words, it is 530, or you can even say it as very less current. Okay, then after increasing the voltage, you can see voltage is not varying to a greater value, whereas your current starts to increase. There will be small change in voltage, but not to that level. Okay, so let me take and some more points. So few more points I will take. Okay, so we have gone till the full scale reading. So 5 volt. So starting from 0 volt till 5 volt we have done. Now you can have a plot option. See, when you plot it, so the value is been plotted. So this is called forward characteristics. So for change in voltage, what is change in current, what is change in input voltage, what is change in output current. So this is the graph. So you can take printout and all. So that we will do later, but you have to separately, each and every student, what you have to do is, from the manual you copy the tabular column. First of all you put a note, everything you write in that note. Okay, there is nothing to copy from others. See, very easy. In our case you are not going to face any problem. So just draw this diagram or the diagram given in your lab manual, whatever you want you can do. So in lab manual, when you see, so this is our lab manual. So you have all that, what and all you have to do, forward base, reverse base and all is there. Theory you try to copy from here for your lab. Here you will get slightly confused. Something should be there on the left hand side of your note and something you have to write it on right hand side. I think from the school we have practiced that your circuit and tabular column will be on your left hand side. So this diagram you have to draw it on left hand side, and this you have to draw, all this content you have to write it on your right hand side. Similarly this is on left hand side. So to fill this tabular column alone, we have done this simulation. So in this simulation you can draw. So this is for forward characteristics. Now next step is to draw reverse characteristics. I think you have clear what I have done. You have seen, keep in some resistance. Once after keeping this in resistance, initially voltage will be 0. Select any one diode, then constantly vary the voltage. Press this button, add to table, add to table. So each and every time what this meter is showing is brought here. This is your tabular column for your observation as well as record. So from here you have to copy it to your note. Then finally you have to give plot. Okay, then it will show. You just press it on it, this particular screen, and if you have, you can, if you have Adobe full version, then you can save it as PDF, or you can draw it in your pencil itself. Okay, just in a graph sheet you try to draw this. For record or for university purpose we will take a printout. Now that is not an issue. Okay, so this is for forward bias. Then for reverse bias condition, same, this only diode direction has been reversed. So again you choose any one diode. This is a particular diode. Now what we will do is reverse breakdown voltage VR is 30 volts. You are not supposed to give beyond 30 volts. When you give beyond 30 volts, the device will break, and the breakage of device is total breakdown. So totally device will fail. Okay, now you try to keep your resistance at a particular value. Okay, now what I am doing is I am giving some reverse voltage. See, 0.2 I have given. After the drop voltage is 0.1, but there is no current. Okay, now you can see, even if I gradually increase, there won't be any increase in current at all. This is what we call it as reverse saturation current. And now this current you may think as a 2.98, but see here, this is not even milli, this is micro. So you have to put 5 point before this, so it will be 0.000002. that much, very low value of current is only going to flow. So that is what we say, this fellow is blocking, diode is blocking. So that is what we say. So now you try to increase your voltage for more. So then again take it in your tabular column, so it will be showing. So it will not go beyond a particular value, so you can take some more readings. Sorry for the disturbance, I will close this WhatsApp. Okay, so you slightly vary, then take the reading, go till our maximum scale. Okay, around 23 volts or even 28 volts we are going. Yeah, we have set it as 30. So when you go beyond 30, the device will break down. So 30, whereas when across the device it is only 20. So across the device that much drop is there. So only if across the device it touches, then it will break. Now you can draw this characteristics. This is called reverse characteristics. So you can see here, you are increasing the voltage in reverse direction. So minus voltage we are putting just to say it is in reverse direction. So this voltage, previously shown voltage direction has been reversed. So you can see here, now this is direction is reversed, this direction is reversed. So that is why negative direction is been shown there. So this you can view it in your. Okay, so students, I think you are able to do it with a small experiment today. Even with this we will